Hey adventurers! Zafri here with another video, and this time, I'm gonna be guiding you through the forgotten depths of the Sunken Temple. I know. It's been a while since my last dungeon guide and I'm truly sorry about that. I've been having too much fun working on my fresh anniversary series, but making this guide has always been in the back of my mind. And since I did promise after all, and you guys like leaving nice comments that warm my heart, without further ado, let's get onto it. Hidden deep in the Swamp of Sorrows, east of Darkshire and north of the Blasted Lands, the Sunken Temple is a murky mess packed with cursed artifacts, angry reptiles, and way too many staircases. Just like BRD, it's one of those dungeons that people tend to avoid as they get closer to 60, and for good reason. It's creepy, it's dangerous, and it's a fucking maze. But conquering this dungeon, even just once, is essential for your hardcore progression because it is where you can complete your level 50 class quests and earn some seriously powerful items. Don't worry though, you'll soon realize that it's not as scary as it seems, and most of the risks often stem from your fear of the unknown. That's where this guide comes in. First of all, I recommend being at least level 54 before entering the dungeon. Like Princess Thiradras from Maraudon, the last boss hits like a truck and can wipe your groove if you let your guard down. Now, here comes your first challenge. How do you get to the entrance? Well, I'll save you a couple of minutes googling and just clear along this path to get from outside the temple to the dungeon portal. Credits to WoW PJ for this illustration, by the way. Okay, now that we're inside, head to the right and go downstairs. When you reach this large pool, clear the pack to your right first to make things easier later. Then, defeat the enemies at the bottom of the pool because that is where the first boss will appear. You don't need to worry about the other enemies on this floor. Next, backtrack to the entrance and go straight ahead up the hallway to the second floor. Keep clearing the circular hallway and enter each room. In each room, you'll find a snake statue, but don't touch them yet. Just focus on killing the enemies. Once you've cleared all the enemies on this floor, each of you must pick a statue and stand in front of it. Now, refer to the big N sign on your minimap. That's north. Coordinate in chat and activate the statues in this specific order: south, north, southwest, southeast, northwest, northeast. If you do this correctly, Atal'alarion, the first boss, will spawn at the bottom. If not, the person who made the mistake will get cursed. Finally, jump down where you cleared the enemies earlier on the right side and get ready to fight the first boss. Atal'alarion has a lot of health and hits pretty hard. His main move is launching a player high up into the air, so use a leap potion just in case. Keep in mind that when he throws somebody up, his threat resets, so don't hesitate to use your defensive cooldowns until your tank taunts him back. After you defeat him, click the large snake statue to complete the Secret of the Circle quest. Then head up the stairs and click the snake altar to finish the Into the Depths quest. Once that's done, go back to the entrance. Alright, enter this hallway until you reach what I like to call the upper floor. Up here, you'll run into packs of trolls. Focus on killing the witch doctors first because they can cast Hex. If there are 2 witch doctors in a group, have your mage ship or your rogue sap one of them to make life easier. Just like before, keep clearing the circular hallway and make sure to check every room or inlet you come across. That's where you'll find the troll mini-bosses. You'll know you've found one because they glow bright green. They're pretty squishy and don't have any special abilities, so if you die to one, that's on you. Once you've taken out all 6 troll mini-bosses, the path to Jammal'an the Prophet will open up. After that, make your way back towards the entrance again. Nice job! You're almost halfway through. Now, head into the hallway on the left, and here you'll be fighting a lot of dragonkin mobs. The ones you really need to watch out for are the nightmare wyrmkins. They can cast sleep, which is especially dangerous if it hits your healer or tank. The good news is that sleep can be dispelled or interrupted, so DPS, make sure to stay on top of your kicks. If you have a druid in your group like I do here, they can use Hibernate on the wyrmkins to make things easier while the rest of the group takes out the pack. One important thing, Make sure to kill every single dragonkin in this area. If you leave any alive, they'll pull together with the final boss later and things can get pretty messy. Follow this path to the next room to reach Jammal'an the Prophet, but be extra careful here. You'll run into Atal'ai Deathwalkers that summon deadly ghost adds when they die. Seriously, I've seen this ghost take out a couple of clothes in just a few hits. The best strategy is to kite them away until they eventually despawn. The Deathwalkers can also cast Fear, which can send you running straight into nearby enemy packs, and if that happens, it's mostly likely game over for ya. To avoid this, the tank should pull each pack all the way to the back of the room. Yeah, it's a long process, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Now for the boss fight. You'll be dealing with two casters. Expect spells like Flame Strikes, Shadow Bolts, and some curses. But the real threat here is the Hex of Jammal'an. It turns one player into a monster and temporarily augments their damage. This is especially tricky if it hits a hunter because the model may look like it's melee, but it actually attacks from range. So it's super important to crowd control the Hex player right away using abilities like Polymorph, Gouge, or any other CC. And please, for the love of God, don't attack the Hex target. You might kill them. After you defeat Jammal'an the Prophet, loot his head for the quest Jammal'an the Prophet. Once you defeat Jammal'an, oh my god, that's a lot of Jammal'an in the last 10 seconds. Two Drakes, Weaver and Dreamscythe will spawn in the massive dome earlier. Have your tank pull them from range in position with their backs to a wall. This lets the tank face them away from the group, avoiding their frontal breath attack and the signature knockback that famously launched the streamer Guzu to his death.
You're just saying it because of this. Okay?
Once those two are down, follow this path to the final boss's room. Oh, and don't forget to kill all the dragonkins, remember? Now, another pair of dragons, named Hazzaz and Morphaz, would have spawned in the hallway by now. These two usually pull together, so brace yourselves. Make sure to keep your defenses ready, especially if your tank has trouble holding aggro on both. Other than that, it should be a pretty straightforward fight. Now for the main event, the Shade of Irenicus. No kidding, Irenicus hits hard, even on the tank. But the real danger lies in his Deep Slumber ability, which puts the target to sleep for 8 seconds. This is not dispellable, by the way. The good news is that he always casts it on the person with the highest threat, usually the tank in this case. Once the tank falls asleep, he immediately targets the second highest threat on the threat table. So this is where your off tank comes in clutch. If you got a druid, they can go bear form, taunt Irenicus, and soak the hits. Rogues can also step up with evasion, and even a hunter's pet can use growl and hold aggro. Even better if you have a shaman in your team and they drop a grounding totem. Irenicus will cast Deep Slumber on the totem first, so this means you don't need to worry about the sleep mechanic. If for whatever reason he targets a clothy, don't mess around. He can one-shot you. Use any defensive you've got, Ice Block, Fade, whatever it takes to survive. Your tank should immediately taunt the boss back as soon as they get out of sleep. There will be no phases, no ads, just a brutally high pressure fight. Healers, keep your tank topped up, but watch your threat as you could generate a lot of healing aggro. Once you defeat Irenicus, loot the essence of Irenicus from him, start the quest, and turn it to this brazier here. If you think this is over, there's an optional boss in Sunken Temple, the Avatar of Hakkar. If you or someone in your group has completed this quest chain and has either the Egg of Hakkar or the Yikinya scroll, head to this specific room. Once you start the event, waves of enemies will begin to spawn. Keep killing them until a Hakkari Bloodkeeper shows up. When it dies, it drops Hakkari blood. I recommend setting the loot to free for all so anyone can grab it. Use the blood to extinguish the 4 braziers in the corner of the room. Just keep killing Bloodkeepers and using their blood until all 4 braziers are out. Once they are, the Avatar of Hakkar will appear. During the fight, he can sometimes mind control a random player and turn them against the group. When that happens, just do the same thing you used with Jammal'an. Use crowd control, sheep, stun, trap, whatever works, and control the fight. Other than that, It's a basic tank and spank encounter. Congrats on conquering the Sunken Temple! If this guide has helped you in any way, please consider subscribing as it helps me make better content. I've also covered other hardcore dungeons like Uldaman, Zul'Farrak, and Maraudon, so feel free to check those out too. Anyway, what hardcore guide should I do next? Comment down below.